So that's actually a really good segue into a video segment that we can pull out for YouTube because can you turn on one-shot assassinations? Yeah, and we were talking about this the other day that this game, like Ubisoft does a really good job of accessibility in their games. Like most recently, with this, of course, but also like with Star Wars Outlaws. One of the things I loved about Star Wars Outlaws was the ability to go into the options and like, I don't want to do the lock picking, I don't want to do the hacking. It was fun the first 10 or 15 times, but I'm not a big fan of like the mini games that where you have to button mash. I didn't like blacksmithing in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as an example. So it's nice to be able to turn those options off for the people who want it. But yes, if you go into the game options here, um, Assassin's Creed Shadows, like pretty much every single Ubisoft game, have a boatload of gameplay accessibility options that you can turn off. So, um, as an example, you can start with guided exploration. Do you want that on or off? Difficulty tuning, which we'll take a look at in a minute. Aim assist. How much aim assist do you want in the game? Do you want dialogue options? Do you want to do quick time events? By the way, I remember in like Star Wars Outlaws, there were the events where you would do um, like if you don't want to do these quick time events here, where it's like you're pushing buttons in a specific order to do like the meditation things or the sword trials, you could turn those on to auto because you just don't want to do them. Star Wars Outlaws, you could decide that you didn't want to do when you would go to the cooking locations or the restaurants with KVS and Nix, there was button press QuickTime events where you could completely turn those off. So I'm actually gonna turn those off right now because I don't want to deal with those anymore. Um, yeah, Rated. You had mentioned this. I had it on my list, but I was going to do it offline. But since the question was asked, I was like, this is the perfect time to do this online. So I'm actually, as an example, I'm going to turn the QuickTime events to auto because I'm tired of doing the button pressing. Um, so you can change that. There's melee attack mode. So a single button press triggers a single attack. You can have a single button press triggering a combo attack, or you can have combo plus trigger, so you can adjust that. Um, Deal with the photo mode. There's all these different options that you can go into here. Dismemberment on or off. This goes into the whole censorship thing. That's up to you. Do you want to see dismemberment or blood FX? You can turn those on or off. But let's go up into the difficulty tuning, because this is where there's a whole bunch of additional options, including what you just asked about, which was guaranteed assassination. Choose whether successful assassinations automatically kill the target, regardless of their remaining health. And this is a great option for players who want the story mode. And I'll go into this here in a second because I want to go into the actual assassination tree and show you why this is so important for the people who want to do story mode as opposed to wanting to feel a little bit of challenge. And because of the way the accessibility options are set up here, you can have as hardcore or as light of an experience as you want in the scale of difficulty. So stealth difficulty, you have multiple options here. Combat difficulty, story mode. Yasuke is more resistant and versatile. Naoe can fight against multiple enemies at the same time. Combat is easy, with enemies who give more time to react and whose damage is drastically reduced. Forgiving. Naoe is better off staying hidden, but can still fight small groups. The one thing about normal mode is, I've said this in another video, excuse me, Naoe does not fight well against multiple opponents in normal mode, and you have seen me in these streams run away if I have more than like 3 or 4 targets, because she's just not built for that. But if you have it on story mode, there's no problem. She can handle multiple opponents at once. So that's something to keep in mind. But going to the guaranteed assassination thing, this goes back into the difficulty stuff, which we'll get into here in a minute. There's also a whole bunch of stuff in here related to the HUD, and you can customize all of these different elements of the HUD. Again, one of the things Ubisoft is an exceptionally good company at pushing out is these options right here, which allow you to fully customize the experience that you are getting, not just from the difficulty levels of the game, but also what do you want to see on screen. Do you want icons on screen, or do you want it turned off? Do you want the compass available or turned off? Like, if you want a truly immersive experience, turn off the compass. which you've been able to do that, by the way, since I believe Odyssey was the first one you could turn off the compass. Because I remember when Odyssey came out, Red Dead Redemption 2 was out at the same time, and both of those games were being praised for having this immersive mode where you could turn off the compass and have to rely on people giving you directions, and you were having to pay attention to visual landmarks if you didn't want to have this auto follow or the auto compass showing you where to go. So you could completely turn off the compass. You can have the visibility meter on or off so that you don't have enemies. You have to listen to the audio cue if an enemy sees you or not. Do you want loot stuff on? Like, there's all of these options in here to show what do you want to see on screen. You can turn all of this off if you want a completely immersive, hardcore like experience in this game. Turn everything off, turn all of this HUD stuff off, and turn the difficulty all the way up, and you will have a very realistic samurai stealth experience, because you won't be getting any cues of any type to tell you how to go. So all of these customization options, you can also go into the audio option and of course change all of this stuff. Like here, this is important, immersive mode. For some people, because this locks the voiceover language to Japanese and blends Japanese and Portuguese dialogue. This is important for people. If I was not streaming, I would be playing in this mode. Not because of the bullshit rumor that the voice acting is better. We've already covered that in a different video. It has nothing to do with the voice acting. This has to do with, do you want a more immersive experience? Like, do you want to hear everything in the native languages as it would have been spoken in those times? This is great for single play. It's not so great for streaming because I have an English audience and I'm not asking my audience to read subtitles. So I do English because of that reason. That's why we stream in English. You can also go in here and tweak the music frequency and all sorts of different stuff. You can customize all of your controls. Are you left-handed or right-handed? Do you want auto movement? Ooh, I didn't even know that was on. Hold up. Can I do that with my horse? Like, I've been talking about this the whole time, how I missed the auto movement on the horse. I wonder if I can trigger that. I'm going to try that here in a minute. Anyway, let's go back because I actually want to go to the mastery stuff. By the way, double tap. It worked! I did not know you could do that. Oh god, that's brilliant. Alright, so it's not actually auto following the road like it used to, but it is auto running, which is a huge deal for my thumb fatigue. I can actually toggle an auto run now. Oh, that's awesome. So now I don't have to be always pressing forward on the thumbstick. Okay, anyway, I got sidetracked. Mastery, this is what we were going into because you asked about the auto assassination. Profound says if you turn Pathfinder on, it might. We'll go check it here in a minute. Alright, so assassination, because this was the main question that sparked this video, was the auto assassination. So by default, what you're looking for is this right here. So the Hidden Blade assassinates regular enemies and removes 3 health segments. Then if you want to get to the next rank, you have to put points into this one. Assassination damage 1 removes 1 additional health segment with assassinations, but it goes deeper than that. Because there's also the fact that certain targets, which are too big for Naue to take out normally, they would be immune to her assassination attempts regardless of their health bars, and so you would need to put points, which I have done, into the reinforced blade, which now means I can use Hidden Blade against large enemies and not just normal enemies. And then as you work your way up through the power ranking, you get to additional health segment with assassinations, and then an additional health rank from assassinations, and over here is hang on, I gotta go over here to this one and go up from here. There we go. Hidden Blade can no longer be denied when enemies see Naue coming. So what that means right now is that right now if they see you, the assassination button goes red and you can no longer actually I don't remember if it goes red or if it just disappears, but if they see you, you can no longer assassinate them like that, and that gets rid of that, so now you can completely do that. So if you turn the guaranteed assassination on, none of this matters. It makes that entire skill tree, or at least that entire section of the assassin skill tree, irrelevant, which is great for people who want to do the story difficulty. Someone like my wife who has never played she just doesn't play video games. If she were to want to come in and play an Assassin's Creed game and try this out because she likes Japanese culture and she wants to play this because she loved the Shogun series and etc. And she's watched me play and she wants to try it out. She would want to play on story mode with the guaranteed assassinations on because she's new to it and she's never played before and she doesn't have the muscle memory and she's not a skilled player. And that's why accessibility options are very, very, very important, because we want these games to be as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. If you want to have a hardcore experience and play it like it's Dark Souls with all your HUD turned off and enemy stealth detection cranked, you do you and do that. But it's a good thing that games have accessibility options. So, yes, you can customize every aspect of the game, not the least of which is you can turn guaranteed assassinations on or off. And yeah, it's very reminiscent of the old games where you could play. When the old games you could do guaranteed assassinations, but over time they've added like armor segments, health segments, so on and so forth. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams at around 5 a.m. Central on YouTube and Twitch, because this is going to get clipped out on YouTube. So those of you who aren't tuning into the live stream need to tune in so you can ask questions like that and get them answered live on stream. And now I got to go check around more with this whole auto movement thing and figure out how that works.